Hey everyone, how are you doing? Let's talk about Big Bear a little bit. Let's talk about Opendoor technologies here a little bit. Now, obviously, these are still very much, people get mad when I say anything, when I call these stocks anything. If I say they're meme stocks, half of you get like, "Argh!" If I say they're, these are stocks, companies that are going to do well in the future, people go, hold up. Listen, let's just talk about them, where they're at, what's going on. And just as investors, what's the next play on these, and what's the newest news? Now, obviously, the newest news right now is that Nvidia here has just come out with quarterlies, and the market is the market's been waiting on this all day, and it's sold off all day. Now, the quarterlies for Nvidia came out, and they were good. I mean, they're not bad. Of course, the market wanted more. The market always wants more. Investors always want more. But what we've seen here is that the good news is that they've hit, and they're closer to a $50 billion quarterly, which will be maybe here by Q3, Q4, probably undoubtedly the way the movement is. But, it's a freight train from the depths of hell. I mean, it is. Nvidia is just. It could buy half the companies, on the stock market right now that aren't, producing billion-dollar quarterlies. I mean, that's how crazy it is. So, right now, talking about Big Bear here. Let's start with Open here and what's going on. So right now, Open here, along with the market today, I mean, everything just like sold off through, every hour on the hour through the market on, I'm talking here Wednesday, but, I'm pretty sure the market will rebound probably, if not this week, into next week, obviously. And we got the Feds talking here, so we'll see what they say. Either way, bad news, who cares? It might push rate cuts even more. Good news, okay, good. But right now with every stock today, everything's sold off, not terribly, but things still sold off. Open here hit this 414. Now, I'm not telling you to buy this at all. I'm not telling you to buy either of these stocks. But what I am saying that, I know a lot of people right now are going to play this as a swing trade, more than likely. So I would suspect that, tomorrow the market will go, you know what, these Nvidia quarterlies, they were actually pretty good. And we'll see the market start to ticker up again here. It will just, because, tomorrow the whole thing is going to change, more than likely. Firms, the news, everything's going to come out and say like, well, Nvidia is pretty close to $50 billion quarterly. They're still aggressively moving up in share price. They beat expectation. They're still doing great. And, this is, Nvidia is going to be talking here. They're going to be talking about their future. And my God, they're making so much money. It's hard to even wrap your mind about what is going on over there. But Opendoor here, this is a situation that I would highly suspect that this is going to swing either this week or next week back into $4.50, even to $5. I would probably say that's going to happen here, more than likely. That's the short-term swing trade. What's going to happen here? As I do think though, the big play right now that everyone is betting on for the next big push in Opendoor here. Now, and obviously I'm talking about a lot more short term here, because the company obviously is still pushing into the foundation of who and what they are, building it up here. But the thing here that we're all expecting is that next month here, just a few short weeks away, we could be getting a rate cut or rate cuts here the rest of this year, which undoubtedly will drive up Opendoor technologies here because of what it is. AI company that sells houses, making it just where anybody can go online and do this. And I'm really not even trying to talk about the company. I'm just talking about the stock in general, what's about to happen here. But this, for the company, obviously rate cuts, good, goes right into the stock. Investors look at this and go, okay, here we go, we're locking and loaded. So I'm curious to see if Opendoor, I would love to see it bleed a little more into the high $3 range. Are we going to get that? I don't know. It's pretty aggressive fall so far today. But more than likely, what is going to happen here, and maybe this may be into next week because I just don't know what the Feds are going to say here this week. We're such in a weird place in the market right now. Nvidia has controlled the whole week in the market, essentially the last 48 hours especially. Today, controlled the market completely. Tomorrow the market's going to be like, we're going to somewhat come back here, okay? And then, we still have the Feds talking here to see kind of what's going to happen with some inflation reports. It's a weird place. And then we're getting rate cuts. We're pretty sure here from what it's the breadcrumbs we're picking up here. So more than likely, this is going to be a situation of Opendoor here is going to have another run, at least going into September. I would highly speculate, okay? Highly speculate. So that's kind of where I'm at with that, if people are wondering, because I read, I don't know how many comments today, people like, talk about Open. I'm talking about Open. So that's kind of where I'm at with Open right now. Long term, I think there's still, obviously, it is a construction zone of a company to see what's going to happen there. Quarterlies are very much open to, it's the new company. This is a new company. So, this is not a situation that I'm looking at. If they were coming out with aggressive quarterlies, like just melting faces, I'd be like, be in this for the long run. But right now, I think this is like a month by month kind of where we at. What's the newest news? Obviously, they're looking for a new CEO, so that will pump some energy into the stock as well. And that could really push into the play as well. But yeah, I'm still going to talk about it. I like it. I think it's a very interesting situation that's going on over there. But let's go right into BigBear. So sweet BigBear, our beautiful BigBear here. I think that there's obviously a line down the sand right now with people, how they feel about BigBear. People are loving it still. Some people are highly pissed off. And this is the reason why, I said even back beginning of the year, the end of last year, I said this is going to be a stock that is going to make you want to rip your hair out, and then at times it's going to make you go like, oh my god, I love being in the market, this is so amazing. Before we came to these quarterlies with BigBear, we pretty much, I was saying like, hey, I don't think they're going to hit quarterlies. Now they could, who knows, but I'm just very in this space that I just don't think they're going to hit, like they're going to like beat it. Now I did think they were going to come a lot closer, but we got a huge reality check of where this company was. Now, thank God they were still in $30 million range. Thank God, because this would be a lot worse situation. But the main thing, too, that is keeping the pulse on right now with BigBear, and they did pretty good today. I mean, the fact that the stock is holding $5, I think is phenomenal. If the stock can remain somewhere in this $5 range, get to $6 on a good day, and then if we get some more deals here, which is the main bread and butter, the blood of what we need right now with the stock is company. This is stock company, whatever I say here. It needs deals, it needs money, because that is going to translate pushing the stock up more here. I think obviously we're going to see what happens here, that the push could come back here with BigBear in September. I think it's going to roll with the market 100%. It's still going to be a stock that's going to swing here 100%. In that we are going to see more deals be given out here, and we're just waiting and seeing. It's a waiting game right now with BigBear. I want this thing to roll harder. I want it to move up more aggressively here. I think I think the one thing that is clear here with BigBear is that they are looking for deals. They are looking for business. That has been shown at this point. With everything we've had towards the end of the year last year, Kevin coming on board here, people having mixed feelings about Kevin, and then, we've seen partnerships, we've seen deals a lot this year. I mean, this has been the most aggressive, let's just say, a year at this point with BigBear for them in a long time. That's why they've gotten so much attention here this year. This is why we're seeing the progression really pick up here in BigBear. So I still think people are going to be buying BigBear. I know people are buying BigBear. I'm seeing people buy BigBear. And there's still, and more than likely, there will be a swing back up. There'll be a swing up here with BigBear back into like a 530, 520 easily here. But it is a situation of BigBear needs deals. For BigBear to get back up into this $8, $7 range, they need a nice deal. The football situation that happened here last week or the week before that, great, good, fantastic. But, what Big Bear needs right now is a nice juicy contract from another one for the government, or just some other random company out there. Even more pushing into the airlines, that would be really great for them. So are those things going to happen? Yeah, I think they're going to happen, but I think it's going to take time too. The question is, how long are investors, willing to wait here with Big Bear to get another run rolling here? That's in the survival of Big Bear. It needs to stay somewhere in this $5 range. That's very important right now, so we can keep this mid range here between $5 and getting back to $8 very easily. With more good news coming down the pipeline here somewhere. I do believe they'll get another deal here, at least 2 by the end of the year. It's just the question, how fast can they get it at this point to push the stock more? So friends, that's kind of where I'm at, how I feel about these stocks. I think obviously they're still very much being swing traded. They're being, pushed around on the daily. I think you're probably, from the evidence we can see in the market right now, what's coming here, Open has a lot more opportunity to run harder here in the next month if we're getting rate cuts. Big Bear will do well probably holding position where it's at right now. If the overall market is going in September with the thought of, hey, we're getting rate cuts. Hey, we just got rate cuts. The market will be in euphoric stage here. So it's going to be very interesting where everything ends up here by this time next month, and checking back in with where we are now. Friends, thank you. I wish all of you best of luck, and it is a really interesting time to be in the market right now. Really fun time to be in the market. It is wild. It's very wild. Friends, take care of yourself. Bye, everyone.